These two fragrances deserve their own dedicated reviews, so let's do it today. They're called Fakhat Gase and Qissat Al Najah Qiamichi, both from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige. Now, I've mentioned both fragrances in some of my previous videos in the past few weeks, but as I said in the beginning of this one, I think they're good enough to deserve their own dedicated video reviews. So that's why I'm going to talk about them in a little bit more detail in today's video. I'm going to start with this one, the black one, which looks kind of interesting, in fact quite nice. This is the way that the bottle looks. It looks like this sort of one, like a cat, maybe like a tiger or a panther that's climbing on some rocks. The bottle itself looks really nice, has nice heft and quite a unique design. Both fragrances are clones, but both fragrances have their own twists done on them by the brand of Arabiyat Prestige. Now this black one, Fakhat Gase, is a clone of Gucci Guilty Elixir. Now as far as I know, there aren't that many Gucci Guilty Elixir clones. I think the brand of Rayhaan has one which I own, which again doesn't feel exactly like a straight up clone, and this doesn't feel like an exact straight up clone as well. But it's nice to have a little bit more alternatives of Gucci Guilty Elixir, simply because of how expensive the original fragrance is. At least where I live, the original one goes for, a bottle of the original one goes for roughly around about 100 euros, and that's for I think a 60 milliliter bottle size, so it's getting quite expensive. This is first of all the sprayer in action, the usual super nice sprayer from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige, pressurized and everything else. I'm going to spray it on my left arm, and I'm going to talk about the scent. Now the original one is an interesting fragrance that feels that's quite heavy on the vanilla note, but along that vanilla note you get some white florals, you get a hint of spiciness, you also get a hint of greenness. In a way, you know, it smells a little bit old school. And Fakhat Gase actually smells quite similar to the original fragrance, but at the same time has its own slight twist. And that twist that I personally pick up out of Fakhat Gase compared to the original fragrance is the fact that this has ramped up vanilla sweetness. I think there's something that comes off a little bit nutty in this one, something like an almond note. It's still quite heavy on the white florals, on the orange blossom. This also has, I think, slightly less spiciness than the original fragrance. It's heavy on the ambroxan, just like pretty much any other modern fragrance. And it's a good scent. It will get you smelling close to the original fragrance, especially if you are familiar with Gucci Guilty Elixir, you'll immediately recognize this one. But this is for those of you who find the original to be a little bit lacking the sweetness. So this is basically Gucci Guilty Elixir with slightly less spiciness, slightly less white florals, and a little bit more sweetness thanks to that vanilla note, and maybe a hint of nuttiness thanks to an almond note. All around this smells nice. Smells close to the original fragrance, smells interesting and quite unique. Gucci Guilty Elixir is quite a unique designer fragrance, and although I'm not really that fond of the original one, I find Fakhat Gase to smell quite nice and of very high quality. Performance wise, Fakhat Gase is a strong performing scent. I've been easily getting at least 8 hours of performance since day one, since the day that I first tried this, and in fact on a regular basis it gives me over 9 hours. Also the projection is quite strong in the first about hour and a half, maybe even up to 2 hours. So performance wise, this is a strong fragrance. Without being beastly, this is still a very good performer. Price wise, just like anything else from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige, the usual price that this is going, keep in mind that this is a relatively new release, is around about 50 to 55 euros. So meaning it's, you know, the fragrances from Arabiyat Prestige tend to be a little bit more expensive, but in my opinion, in most of the cases, it's worth it in this case as well, because you'll get high quality pressurized sprayer, unique looking bottles, and good performance as well with pretty much all of their scents. And versatility wise, this is as versatile as the original, meaning that theoretically you can wear this one throughout the year, maybe apart from the hottest days of summer. In those days, I would say if you want to wear something like this in the summertime, I think nighttime is more appropriate, but all around it's quite versatile. The second fragrance featured in today's video, as I said, is called Qissat Al Najah Qiamichi. It's quite a mouthful of a name, but the more times I pronounce it, the easier it gets personally for me. This again, I've mentioned this one a couple of times already in my previous videos in the past few weeks. This is a clone with a twist of YSL Y Elixir. but I find it to be more like a mashup of you know, the whole Y line, like the original Y, Y EDP, Y Elixir, with a bit of freshness thrown in for good measure. This is the way that the bottle looks. It has, again, a nice looking design, although I find Fakhat Gase to be more interesting. This is slightly more sort of a normal looking bottle. Again, pressurized sprayer, superb one. I'm going to spray this one on my other arm, and this smells nice, and it smells fresh, especially in the opening. It's basically like taking Y Elixir and adding a ton more freshness in the opening. You still find a lot of the things that you'll find in Y Elixir, meaning the lavender, the aromatic nature of the lavender, a bit of the greenness from the geranium, but in here you'll find a lot of sort of bergamot freshness in the opening, maybe a hint of spiciness as well, something slightly peppery. So this brightens up the opening quite a bit compared to Y Elixir. The more this goes into its dry down, the closer it gets to Y Elixir. You'll get hints of the fruity sweetness of the Y line. You'll get a bit of the agar oud, which is you know, an interesting addition to both the original fragrance and this one. Although it's not skanky, animalic, or challenging or anything, it just sort of darkens the whole scent profile a little bit, makes it a little bit more mature, maybe slightly dressed up. On the dry down, this also feels a little bit balsamic. There's some additional ambery sweetness, just like you'll find with the original fragrance. And again, this is like a more mature take on the Y line or the Y scent profile. It's a nice fragrance that is super versatile, that smells, I would say, very mass pleasing. Again, the time where this differs the most compared to the original fragrance is in the opening, where this feels a lot fresher than Y EDP. So if you Y Elixir, excuse me. So if you like the Y line in general, Y EDP, Y Elixir, this is a very nice alternative. I wouldn't exactly call it a straight up clone. This is more like an alternative with fresher opening, which in my experience and my opinion adds a little bit more versatility, because that added freshness helps this one being more wearable in the summertime as well. Performance wise, again, it's a good performing scent, although I find Fakhat Gase to be a little bit better performing. This has been giving me around about 8 hours of performance, but for that quite fresh scent profile, I think the performance is good. Also, initially this projects quite strongly because of its sort of a fresh sharpness. In the first hour and a half, this is quite strong, then it starts to sit closer to the skin. But overall, I think the performance is quite good on this one. When it comes to versatility, it's a very versatile fragrance. It's one of those bluish type of scents that you can wear throughout the year without any problem. This is signature scent worthy. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can wear it to the gym, you can wear it to the office, pretty much whenever you want. Price wise, it's pretty similar to the other one, meaning around about 50-55 euros, so we're looking at about $50 to $60 as a price point. And in the end, a few very quick final words about the two fragrances. As I said, I think they're so good that they deserve their own reviews. So that's why I did this video today. I received both of them for free. They were part of this PR package which I showed you last week from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige. That's why I didn't show you the complete packaging. I only show you the bottles itself, but that doesn't change my opinion on both of them. With both you'll find the usual super high quality from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige. With both you'll find nice performance, you'll find nice looking bottles, you'll find pressurized sprayers. You know, both of them carry the usual very high quality that I associate with the brand of Arabiyat Prestige. Fakhat Gase is a fragrance that will get you smelling close to Gucci Guilty Elixir without being a straight up clone. The other one, Qissat Al Najah Qiamichi, is a clone with a twist of Y Elixir. So this is really versatile, signature scent worthy fragrance. The other one, Fakhat Gase, is more on the slightly unique side, designer side, I think. Both of them have pretty much designer level quality, and both of them are good, but if I have to choose one out of the two, personally for me, I've enjoyed more this one, which is a clone of Y Elixir. So guys, in today's video I showed you two fragrances from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige, which are so good that I believe deserve their own dedicated videos. That's why I shot them today. Fakhat Gase and Kisat Al Najah Qiamichi. I hope that you found today's video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in my next video for your dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.